That was sweet. That was badass. That was awesome. I tweeted this out during the game because I played golf on Wednesday night. And I got a knee that's bothering me a little bit, and the knee was hurting. The knee hurt all night long, and I played terrible. The next day, as of today, my knee still hurts. I'm 36 years old. I also hadn't swung a golf club in like three weeks. My neck kind of hurts today. I'm just kind of in pain. Again, 36 years old. Tom has me by 8 years. He looks fantastic. We all know that. Physically, he's got the chiseled jawline, the hair. He looks fantastic. As a player, are you kidding me? 32 of 50. But again, I don't even need to look at the box score. If you watched him tonight, you went, is this guy Tom Brady in his prime? Now, he benefits from having Mike Evans, who didn't even do much today, Chris Godwin, who's a baller, Antonio Brown, I don't know, had one of the great 6-year stretches in the history of the league. Rob Gronkowski, after that year off, looks fantastic. He has great weapons. Running backs need to learn to catch a little bit. But Tom, how's this possible? Is this, honest to God, I'm not even trying to be sarcastic or anything. Is this the greatest athletic achievement in the history of humanity? Like, we've seen some physical athletic achievements like younger LeBron or younger Michael Jordan or a Michael Vick, or a Bo Jackson. But those guys were like in their 20s, in their primes or early 30s. He's 44 years old. This is nuts. Like this is like we're all kind of numb to this, and I think we all have to come to grips. Unless he gets hurt, how's this ever going to stop? Because unlike Peyton Manning, that last year, Peyton Manning's arm stopped working. We saw it with Drew Brees the last couple years. His arm stopped working. Phillip Rivers. And obviously these guys were never even as good as Tom. Peyton was close, but Drew wasn't, even Phillip Rivers. Tom's arm, the deep ball power, he can't move, and it doesn't matter. He cannot run at all. He cannot move outside of his little 2-yard circle. Yet he can kick the living shit out of every single team he plays. Now, Dallas isn't great on defense. He'll play tougher tests as the season goes on. But are you kidding me? Like, this is what we're watching right now? We're watching the most historic 44-year-old man operate in the history of sports. I know there's some hockey guy hitting me up on social media, Gordie Howe. I'm not a hockey guy. I know there are boxers who fought. Like, listen, I can only speak. I'm just talking the major team sports. Basketball, football, and baseball. Those are 3 ones that I follow. This is crazy. And it doesn't feel like it's stopping anytime soon. He's on a loaded team who had, he had a pick that went off Lenny's hands. He threw a pick at the end of the half. Godwin fumbled. They were fumbling and turning the ball over left and right. I just don't know. I'm at the point now where I'm kind of speechless on Tom. It is just remarkable. As someone who's not quite close to 40 yet, my body aches, my body hurts. I can't do anything physically anymore. Hell, I can't even play golf that well anymore because my knee hurts. I'm at a loss for words. And on the flip side, I think one thing, and I try to think about this a lot when I evaluate quarterback because I don't think we do it well enough. And I think this translates to society too. Tough people win. Always. Consistently. In business and in sports. Tough people. Now, in normal society, mentally tough people, right? We're not fighting or shoving. You can, but you get in trouble in real life. Mentally tough people. Every successful person I've known, growing up, still to this day, people that I'm around, all mentally tough. Mentally weak people get destroyed in this world. Physically tough people in pro sports, they have to be physically and mentally tough because you're using your body, especially in football, have success consistently in the history of team sports and definitely in football. You have to be mentally and physically tough. I have nothing but respect for Dak Prescott. He put on a toughness clinic tonight. And listen, if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I believe that contract is a little rich. And I you watch him last night, I saw someone that covers the NFL tweeted, I don't think his arm looks quite as strong. To me, that's Dak Prescott's arm. Now, mobility-wise, you could tell he couldn't quite run, like he could pre-injury, which makes sense. He's less than a year removed. But his arm, he's never had a great arm. his arm has always been much closer to like an Alex Smith than it ever was a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers. But his ability to stand as Greg Cosell of NFL Films eloquently says, look down the gun barrel. And I think he stole that from Jaws, and I stole that from both of them. Most guys can't do that, because who wants to do that, right? Especially in the National Football League. You're looking down a throw with either a linebacker or a defensive lineman coming at you. You are about to get destroyed. And he consistently does it. Now, here's the other thing. To come back from that injury, to not play all season last year after he broke his ankle, and then basically miss all of training camp with a shoulder injury, I tip my hat to him. I really do. I'm probably too hard on him. Now, I will not move off of my stance of, listen, I'm a sucker for stronger arm quarterbacks. It's just something I'm inclined to like more. But if you're going to play that tough, and I think his mobility will come back. I don't know if he'll ever quite be as mobile as he was when he was younger after a major injury like that, but he definitely can move more than like statue quarterbacks, right? Even on one leg, he's faster than Tom. Now, obviously, you don't have to be a great quarterback. You don't have to run. But the Cowboys have something, right? I mean, they do. You can win with that guy. Their wide receivers, Amari Cooper's elite. CeeDee Lamb is a baller. I can live with a couple drops if you can make plays. Gallup, who hurt his ankle, their weapons are badass. And everyone's like, why? Where's Zeke? Well, the Tampa Bay has one of the best front sevens in the league. I saw Charles Woodson tweet it, and he was dead on. He's like, they're not running it because you can't run it on that front. You got to throw. And they did. I think he threw for over 400 yards. So to do that, I have nothing but respect for Dak. I have two questions for the Cowboys, though. Like, Bruce Arians now runs a CEO operation. But I know Bruce Arians is elite offensive play caller because we saw him do it for decades. And I know he runs a tight organization as a CEO because his team just won the Super Bowl. What is Mike McCarthy doing? Honest to God question. What is Mike McCarthy doing? He doesn't call the offensive plays. I know he knows nothing about defense. He has no part of special teams. What is he doing all game? I don't know. Now, I know he has a resume of having success, and he's called plays before. But right now, Jerry Jones is paying him $8, $9, $10 million a year. What's he doing? And big picture, I was thinking about this watching the game. Like, Todd Bowles, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. And if you had to pick on the short list of 2 or 3 guys, if you were starting a team from scratch, he would be your pick as a defensive coordinator. On the flip side, the Cowboys, whose defense was atrocious last night. Now, they made a couple plays here and there tonight. And DeMarcus Lawrence looked a lot better than he did last year. So, some positive strides. But big picture, over the next 16 games, and I think it's fair to say the Cowboys are going to be competitive. Their offense is too dynamic. Zeke will get going. Their passing game's too... If Dak stays healthy, they're going to be awesome on offense. But defensively, Dan Quinn's defenses, and he kind of played this CEO role in Atlanta, but his defenses were terrible in Atlanta, and he's a defensive guy. So now he comes to Dallas, and he's in charge of the defenses. How's he going to fix this? Like, how are they going to be just solid on defense? We've seen him run defenses, and since he was part of, I don't know, one of the greatest units of all time with LOB and Pete Carroll in their peak heyday way back in the day, I don't know. I don't know if he can do it, to be completely honest with you. I would bet against him. He's not Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan was atrocious. I mean, my mom could have told you that the moment he got hired, this is not going to work. I do think this is functional. Like, they're going to be a little bit better than last year, but I don't see them being... if they miss the playoffs this year, it'll be 100% because of his unit. And back to the head coach, McCarthy knows nothing about it, right? Here's the thing about Arians. Arians always runs a physical operation, even though he's a pass-first coach. Think of his teams in Arizona. They were a badass physical team because you just listen to Arians talk, you go, this guy's a certified badass. This guy's a crazy SOB. And his teams kind of have that in a buttoned-up way. McCarthy is kind of a pass-happy guy too, but his teams historically are pretty soft. Like, one of the big downfalls of Green Bay all those years is, 1, he knew nothing about defense, and 2, his offensive philosophies, his team was just kind of soft. So it's just something to keep an eye on, though definitely more bullish on Dallas. Dak Prescott, I don't know if he'll ever be a top 5 quarterback, but you could see tonight, like, you can win with him. Now, you have to have a good defense. The run game will have to get going against lesser teams. but their offense is going to be really good. Starts with him and those wide receivers. And ultimately, what a comeback for the NFL. Thank God they're back. That was a fun night. I don't need that much offense all the time. I like some physical defensive play, but I'm not going to complain here. That was very entertaining. That was very, very entertaining. And I'm glad it's back.